Hello everyone, welcome back to Edgemon Tutorial Series. This is Divya, your instructor for Web Technologies. In this video, we are going to discuss about dynamic HTML with JavaScript. In the next video, I am going to cover form validations, which is also an important topic in Unit 2, so please do watch it. Now, let us get started with dynamic HTML. Dynamic HTML or DHTML is a collection of technologies used together to create and design interactive and animated web pages. The technologies include HTML, CSS, JavaScript languages, and DOM. DHTML creates dynamic web pages. While we were using HTML, CSS, JavaScript to create web pages, we were able to create only static web pages. Although we were able to add some dynamic functionality to the web pages using JavaScript, they are not fully dynamic. DHTML, using a model named Document Object Model, helps us to create dynamic web pages. What is DOM? DOM is a programming interface for HTML and XML documents. It represents the page so that the programs can change the document structure, style, and content. The DOM can be defined as an object-oriented representation of the web page which can be modified with a scripting language such as JavaScript. As it is an object-oriented representation, it represents the document as in nodes and objects. And also, the HTML DOM model is constructed as a tree of objects. There have been many standards for DOM, among which the W3C DOM and WHAT-WG DOM standards are implemented in most modern web browsers. The modern DOM is built using multiple APIs that work together. Finding HTML elements. If we want to make changes to the HTML elements of a web page, we should be first able to find them. There are two ways. The first one is by methods and the second one is by HTML object collections. The second way, which is finding HTML elements by HTML object collections, is discarded for this video because it is not in the syllabus and we'll go on with methods. The methods include document.getElement by ID, document.getElements by tag name, document.getElements by class name, and document.querySelectorAll. These all take a parameter, and before getting into details about how we can implement them by using examples, we'll first get to know how we can change the HTML elements. The first method, which is document.write, is the basic method we have used while we are learning basics of JavaScript. The second one, if you wanted to make changes to the particular element in a HTML web page, then you would use .innerHTML. Changing the value of an attribute. If you wanted to make changes to an attribute of an element, you would first access that element, that is find that element, and then add .attribute is equal to new value. Changing the style of an HTML element. Element.style.property. Element means we should find the element and then add .style.property is equal to value. If I wanted to make change to the font size, then I would say .style.font size is equal to size in pixels or percentage. Let us not make any delay and get into the examples. This is the first example, and the title of the page would be DOM, and the body section has a header called old header. What I wanted to do is, when I click on this page or open this page, I wanted something other content to get displayed instead of old header. So what I should be able to do is, I should be able to find this element called h1. So I have assigned an attribute called id to demo. So I am going to find the h1 tag by using the attribute id. So I would say document.getElement by id of demo. And then I wanted to change its content. So I have used innerHTML. This is the change I wanted to make to this particular element. So I would use .innerHTML and the value I wanted to change it to. So when I click on this page or open this page, it shows new header instead of old header. This is the output. It shows new header instead of old header. This is the second example where the body section consists of a header called click here. When I click, what I wanted to do is when I click on it, it should change its content to clicked. So without using script, I have used just a small thing called onClick attribute of h1 and I have set its value to this.innerHTML is equal to clicked. So here this refers to, I will have to find the element and place it here. So this refers to the element here which is h1 because I have used onClick inside of h1. So this refers to h1, and I wanted to change its content, so I've used dot inner HTML and value assigned to is clicked. So let us see the output and see what happens. This is the output. When I click on click here, it changes to clicked like this. When I click on click here, it changes to clicked. This is the third example where we have 3 paragraphs. How DOM is very useful and hello world. Now, this is the third example where the body section consists of 3 paragraphs. The first paragraph hello world, the second paragraph DOM is very useful, and the third paragraph is empty. What I wanted to do is get this paragraph called which has the content hello world and place it here. I wanted to achieve it by using tag. I wanted to get it by using tag name, not by using IDs. So what I will do is, I have taken a variable x and assigned it to document.getElements by tag name of p. So what happens is, x becomes an array which holds the values of each paragraph. So this hello world will be going to get stored in x of 0, and DOM is very useful, will be in x of 1. Since I wanted to display hello world, I will use x of 0. So I wanted to display it in the this paragraph which has the ID demo. So I would say document.getElement by ID of demo, and I wanted to change its content. So I would use dot inner HTML, and the content would be the first paragraph at index 0 is x0.innerHTML. So when I execute it, it shows 3 paragraphs. First paragraph saying hello world, and the second paragraph saying DOM is very useful, and the third paragraph saying the first paragraph at index 0 is hello world. Let us see the output. This is the output. Hello world, the second paragraph DOM is very useful, and the third paragraph consists first paragraph at index 0 is hello world. Next. This is the next example where I wanted to access the elements of paragraph content by using its class name instead of paragraph tag name. So, and here also the content would be the first paragraph. Here I have 4 paragraphs, and the first paragraph consists hello world, and the second paragraph consists DOM is very useful, and the third paragraph consists DOM object model. Document object model. Then I've assigned class as intro to 2 of the paragraphs, which is DOM is very useful and document object model. So what I wanted to do is, in the 4th paragraph, I wanted to display document object model. What I will do is, first I will take these 2 elements, these 2 paragraph elements contents as an array into a variable by using its class name. So x is equal to document.getElements by class name of intro. Next, I wanted to get it displayed at the place of demo. So I will use document.getElement by ID of demo.innerHTML is equal to the paragraph at index 1 using class intro is x1.innerHTML. So document object model will get displayed in the paragraph. And again, I wanted to change its color. So I wanted its color to be different one. So I have used document.getElement by ID of demo.style.color is equal to here. When I say this, the content of this particular paragraph which has the ID demo is going to get changed to this color. Let us see the output. This is the output. The last paragraph, which is the 4th one, which is changed to different colors defined by RGB values, and it says the paragraph at index 1 using class intro is document object model. Let us get into another example. This is the next example where the body consists of a heading, hello world, and then a button which says try. So what I wanted to do is, when I click on it, I wanted to create an attribute dynamically to h1. Here, for example, I wanted to create an attribute called class, and I wanted to assign it to demo class so that this style would get applied to h1 tag, color red. So what I will do is, on click, I will call a function, my function, and here in the function definition, I've taken a variable h1 and got this element hello world by using its tag name, because I didn't use any IDs here, so I wanted to use the tag name. So I have to use the tag name document.getElements by tag name h1 0, because it takes it an array takes all the headings will be taken as an array. This is the first heading, so I have used 0. And then att is another variable which is assigned a value called document.create attribute. Document.create attribute is a method used to create an attribute, and the attribute would be here class. And then attribute.value, here attribute.value is set to demo class, and then I have to set this particular attribute att to h1. So what I will do is h1.setAttribute node. This will set the attribute att to h1. att has the content. What att has? It is class is equal to demo class. So when I execute this page and click on try it button, the hello world content will get changed to red. Let us see the output. This is the output, and here is a button. I guess you couldn't be able to see it, but there is a button which says try it, and when I click on it, it changes the heading color to hello world. This is the last example where the body consists of a heading hello world and a button which says try it. So what I want to do is when I click on try it button, it should change its content hello world. I wanted to make it very simpler, the code to be very simpler, and I'll use query selector. So this is how I achieve it. I will set the class without, just writing it without you setting it dynamically, and then I will be calling document.querySelector h1.intro, and then the style style.color is equal to red. Since I wanted to change its color, I would say color. If I wanted to change font color, I would say here font size, and then the value here would be pixels of size. Then let us see the output. This is the output, and it looks same as that of the previous one. And when I click on this, it says hello world. It takes fewer code. And that is it for today's video, people. In the next video, I'm going to do form handling. So thank you for being with me until thus far, and I will see you in the next video.